We are live now. So we are live, you can start.
Yes. So, very good afternoon to all, and welcome to today's orientation session on Institutions Innovation Council 4.0. As the name indicates, we are now in the fourth edition of Institutions Innovation Council. And today we are going to talk about the achievements we did so far. And when I say we, that means our institutions, our IIC institutions. And also we'll talk about the new features has been added to this IIC 4.0 portal, and will make you familiar about these features so that you will use it efficiently, and also it will help in making the IIC network grow to the next level. First of all, I will welcome all IIC institutions, presidents, head of the institutions, conveners, coordinators, student members, faculty members, and external expert members. Those are part of these IIC councils established in more than 2,700 educational institutions. It's good to share with you all that now IIC network has spread into each and every parts of our country, and we have these IIC net institutions are now present in almost all states and union territories. And it's actually a pleasure, because we started with only 400 in first year, and now we have reached to 2,700. And recently we have announced this Institutions Innovation Council 3.0 annual performance result, and we're expecting by end of this IIC 4.0 we will reach to a target of 5,000 institutions innovation councils. And it will only happen if you all will put your efforts and make these institutions councils to grow. To talk you about in depth about various initiatives and how these policy programs are actually contributing and enabling our institutions to develop their capacity and empowering the stakeholders, especially the students and faculties, to build up their skills, mindset, attitude, and aspirations while engaging with various innovation and entrepreneurship activities during their academic engagement. So this is a kind of first time of its kind is happening, where through a multi-pronged approach and the strategy, we are trying to achieve the desired result of making our institutions innovative, entrepreneurial, and also helping them to develop that conducive climate in their institutions and connecting these ecosystems in institutions with another institute. Through a collective approach, they are now taking the center stage and lead from the front to drive our national innovation and startup ecosystem. And the result is quite evident from the Global Innovation Index result in 2021. Currently, India secured 46th position. Previous year, we are in 48th position. And 4 years back, it was 81 position. So you can see that kind of jump our country is making. And if you will analyze the whole thing and the contribution of our IIC institutions and their efforts, actually you will find really overwhelming. And the distance is still so far, because our aim and objective is to see India's position in top 20 or 25 in next 3 to 4 years. And the more we will close towards the top ranking, then we have to put more concentrated and also more systematic effort. And these things can be easily possible if we will build up our human capacity at in our institutions to channelize these resources, to engage our young minds, and focus more on the quality. Simultaneously, the quantity also we have to focus. So let me share with you all the presentation, and also I will talk about the different features and how we are going to use these features in our institution's innovation portal. Udyan, is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
The PPT is visible? PPT is visible, Udyan?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay.
It is visible.
Okay. So let's start the orientation session. And before this, let me tell you actually what are the programs we are running at Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. I hope almost all the programs you all either you are participating or your institution is part of or your students are participating. So naming few of these: Institution Innovation Council, you all are part of it and you are the member of IICs. Total ranking of institutions on innovation achievement, that you know, and majority of these institutions, they are part of ARIA 2021. And hackathon, much familiar name among the tech students, especially IT, computer science background students. And recently we had completed this toy hackathon, drug discovery hackathon. We have the Kapila program to support intellectual property, IP, patent filing, and patent generation. Yukti 2.0 for technology transfer related activities. Also, Ministry of Education Innovation Cell and AICT, we are conducting so many international hackathons since last 3 years, 4 years. So all these programs are now well integrated, and multiplier effect we are expecting from these institutions. Naming major programs like NISP, National Innovation Startup Policy, IIC, and ARIA. These three policy programs are quite well integrated and synchronized. At national level, if you will see all these programs, it is designed in such a way that one program complements another and another program supplements that. So it's a kind of both complementing and supplementing factors has been taken into account. Like National Innovation and Startup Policy gives the directive measures, gives a kind of a broad framework for the policy vision approach for the institutions with a long-term planning, what they want to do. Whereas this IIC helps to convert that vision into reality by helping in implementation. And through that implementation, through these efforts, the outputs you generate at the micro level, also at the macro level, that helps in feeding into auto ranking area and getting good score and band in the area ranking process. That demonstrate the efforts and the achievements of institutions. And in each and every junction in or interaction point, they develop a feedback loop for correction and improvisation of the program. That means all these programs not only helping the institute and the country and our educational system to move forward, also it helps in improvising the system on a continuous basis, taking the stakeholders, institutions, faculties, and the students' interest into account. If I will talk about how many such institutions, those are having NISP adoption process, also having IIC in place, and also participating in ARIA, there are 2,436 institutes have been adopted this NISP. 1,247 IIC institutions are part of ARIA ranking process. And 21 institutions, IIC institutions, they are now currently offering a program called MBA in Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Venture Development. It's a 2-year program. Now, let's see that how each and every program is creating the impact and also contributing to sustain the movement of innovation and startup ecosystem in our country. Let's give a glimpse on the NISP. In last 1.5 year period, 4,000 faculty coordinators have been trained on how to design, how to plan innovation and entrepreneurship policy at institute level. Because the objective of NISP is when each and every institute will think in a through a vision-oriented approach, and they will consider the short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals into account, and they will engage and deploy the resources, and through collaboration and through co-creation approach, they have to come up with an action plan document, how to accelerate, how to streamline and strengthen the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem in the campuses. This is what NISP says. While preparing this kind of action documents by the institute, they have to consider the state ecosystem, they have to consider the state policies and the center's policies on industrial promotion, on different technology, on different enterprise and the startup missions guidelines. What it does mean? It says that the policy at institute level should have a coherence and accordance with all the kind of policies and guidelines already placed in different levels, like at region, state, and national, and also at the industry level. Then only it will be easy for the institute to leverage the potential to explore and utilize the resources seamlessly. So we have created this pool of more than 4,000 faculty entrepreneurs, faculties, NISP coordinators, and 2,500 plus educational institutions have already been adopted this policy, and 700 plus institutions have developed the policy documents, or they have already set up the committee to design and to formulate these kind of policies for their institute, and 400 plus institutions have already formulated. They are in the process of implementing these policies. You can visit all these institutions in our NISP portal, and you can learn, you can refer these documents, and it's a sincere request. And also through continuous training and handholding process, we are trying to help you all to design your own innovation and startup policy for your institute. Those who have not developed it, please initiate it. The registration and all this process is open throughout the year. Make use of these resources and also refer the policy documents developed by other institutions and start acting on it. Comes to the auto ranking of institutions on innovation achievement. Those institutions are participating in this auto ranking process because it started in 2019. We started with only 496 institutes. Then the number increased to 674. And last year, it is just 4 times compared to the first year. So total 1,437 institutions were part of ARIA 2021 ranking process. And recently, in December, we announced the result. You can go through our ARIA webpage to see the results. First time we have introduced a framework of considering non-technical institutions and to rank them, and also we've classified and categorized the institutions on different types, like centrally funded institutions are put into one category, then universities, state universities, government university into one category, self-financing university other category, standalone, and colleges and institutions into different categories. You can visit our ARIA webpage for more detail. At present, the registration for ARIA 2022 is going on. Soon we are going to organize orientation session for ARIA 2022. But before that, I will request all IIC institutions to go and register in ARIA 2022. Only the registered institutions will be allowed to attend that orientation session, and that we are going to cover each and every part of the framework, then how, and also we'll give the tips how institutions will able to collect the data and provide the data through that portal for evaluation. And this auto ranking of institutions on innovation achievement, it captures and analyzes the data pertaining to program activities, teaching and learning, innovations, startups, technology transfer, and budget and expense related to innovation, entrepreneurship, and startup. So this ARIA itself is very unique in terms of ranking, because there is no such ranking exist anywhere in the world, and especially in the emerging country context, this ARIA is more relevant, because ARIA provides a directional support, and also it gives an inclusive understanding on ecosystem, so that institute will able to understand different components. They will measure their efforts using the data, and also they will compare with other ecosystem players, especially other institutions at the regional level, at the central level, also with similar nature of the institutions, like technical institute can compare with other technical institutes, non-technical institute will be able to compare with other non-technical institutes, their performances. Now let's move to the program, which is very relevant and also belongs to us. We all are part of this program. Other programs also were part of it, but this program we actually were directly concerned to us. So without taking much time, because I hope most of you know about IIC. This Institutions Innovation Council, it was started in 2018. And currently we are running the 4th edition. We have more than 2,777 IICs or councils established in higher education institutions. More than 421 universities are part of it, and 182 standalone colleges. In last 1 year time period, more than 28,000 activities were carried out by all these IIC institutions all together. This number is very huge. In first year, it was only 10,231. Last year in IIC 2.0, 1920, it was only 26,493. But during 2020-21, in spite of COVID and the lockdown and shutdown, majority of all these institutions, they didn't stop. They started organizing online activities. And I think this is a great achievement of the IIC network, that no lockdown has stopped us in terms of learning, in terms of sharing our knowledge. And the result is quite positive and also encouraging. If I will talk about the different infrastructures and support systems we've built through this IIC network, also quite impressive. Out of these 2,777 IIC institutions, more than 600 institutions have established incubation unit, either with the government support or with the industry support or with their own support, own resources. It's really a great progress, or we can say we can say that this progress is actually visible and impressive. But actually, before the incubation, there is need to develop a pre-incubation ecosystem or the pre-incubation support system. There also our IIC institutions has played major role, and majority of all these institutions have pre-incubation support system, either in the form of EDC, Entrepreneurship Development Cell, or IEDC, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Cell, or New-Gen IEDC. They have established innovation cells, startup cells, Nidhi Center, tinkering labs, technology transfer units. So these are kind of pre-incubation support system already exist in many of all these IIC institutions. And I think you all are aware about this IIC 3.0 annual performance that we announced in December. And more than 339 institutions, they have scored 4-star out of 5. And 423 institutions have scored 3 and 3.5 star out of 5 stars. There are many newly registered IIC institutions, and now quite having the enthusiasm to compete with other institutions and to get a good score and star in IIC 4.0. In addition to encouraging the institutions through this scoring and star system and incentives to the institutions and conducting so many training programs and other support systems, Ministry of Education Innovation Cell also provide funding supports and handholding supports to student innovations and faculty innovations. Let's give a glimpse on the kind of ideas, innovations, and startups are coming from all these IIC institutions. In 2018 and 19, more than 10 lakhs ideas have been developed, and these ideas then converted into innovations and prototypes. It is around 24,000, and around 1,867 startups, ventures, and small and medium enterprises has been developed from these academic institutions. And this number has grown, and the trend become moved towards up in this 1920 and 2021. And In this 2020-21, we found more than 46,000 innovations, and number of startups and ventures grown to 3,800. It indicates our academic institutions are now have developed their capacity, and also they are thriving to build that system, and they are encouraging the young minds to pursue their innovation and startup as an alternative career choice. So this is a very positive sign, and also momentum is up. And when the number of IIC institutions will now focus more on quality, and they will build up the capacity of the faculties or faculty members to support these student innovators and student entrepreneurs, then definitely this trend will further multiply in coming years. And we can see that this 3,000 will increase to 10,000. And by that time, IIC counts will also increase to 10,000 to 12, 20,000, 10,000 to 12,000 numbers. And the whole ecosystem that we will imbibe during that time is beyond our imagine. During that time, you may not need our support. Maybe the few institutions, majority of the institutions, they will emerge as a leader, and they will take the lead role in driving the ecosystem along with the other IIC institutions. And we're expecting that should be happen in next coming 4 to 5 years. And definitely, it is definitely going to happen, because the kind of expert base, the kind of innovation ambassador trainers we have, and kind of faculty members and the student members we have, those have entrepreneurship and innovation mindset, is huge. You can see that 50,000 student members are the part of this IIC network. More than 27,000 faculty members are the part of this IIC network. And so far, already we have trained more than 10,000 faculty members and the students as an innovation ambassador. 6,800 plus external experts, industry associations, and ecosystem enablers are now joined with this, are the part of this IIC network. And in this 1.5 years, through a very systematic approach and through this national innovation contest and through other programs, we have set a system to scout, identify and scout these innovative minds through our IIC institutions, and through a multiple level of evaluation, training, mentorship, and handholding programs. Ministry of Education Innovation Cell and AICT is providing funding supports to 75 innovative technologies to work on their innovations to convert into startup in next 6 months to 1 year. So you can see that the potential of our institutions, the scope for further intervention, and the kind of opportunity we are bringing, and our institutions are contributing, is really going to be path breaking if we all will able to make use this opportunity through a systematic and planned approach. Now let me cover different certain questions which is very common and frequently asked, but sometimes these questions are, if not properly addressed, it leads to misconception. So majority of, or many of these institutions, those of IIC, they are thinking that this IIC is a center, IIC is a unit, it need financial burden, or institute has to take financial burden to start an IIC. This is a misconception. As it names, Institutions Innovation Council, it is not a cell, it is not a unit, but IIC is a council, And council is a body which is a representation of departments, units, incubation unit, pre-incubation unit, innovation center that is exist in the campus. And their core members are part of this council, both faculty and the student. And also that council should accommodate the experts from the industry, from the alumni, from the startup, from entrepreneurs, innovators, intellectual property experts, and ecosystem enablers, so that experts, faculty, and students, they will be part of that council. They will come, they will brainstorm, and they will think about where their institute stands, what kind of service and support system actually they need if they want to promote and support innovation and entrepreneurship, and what should be the strategy and action approach through which they will create that ecosystem and they will sustain that ecosystem, so that institute will able to produce more innovations, more innovators, and more entrepreneurs. So this is the what called IIC. So there is no financial burden. Head of the institute, and the IIC is a face of innovation of institute, and it is a council. Just you have to pull the right persons and representatives from different departments and centers which are engaged in innovation and entrepreneurship activities in your campuses. And this IIC makes sure that there is no such isolation exist in your institute. Every department, cell, and the unit should be synchronized. Their resources has to be mobilized, and all the students, irrespective of their discipline and the sector, they should get engaged in innovation and entrepreneurship. This is what IIC. Now, the second common question, frequently asked question, generally comes to everybody's mind, or especially for the new institutions, who can register for IIC? Any educational institution with IIC4, they can register as an IIC, and it is free of cost. You have to just type iic.mic.gov.in and you have to register. Then the next common question is that who should initiate the registration? Ideally and preferably, head of the institute, vice chancellor or registrar or the director or the principal of that institute, not the department. Head of the institute has to register, has to initiate the registration, and it will hardly take 10 to 15 minutes. Once it is approved at our level, once your request will come, then we will approve it. Then the person, we call it the president of the IIC, is a nominee of the head of the institute or the on behalf of the institute. He has to lead that institution's innovation council in your institute. So I have already covered question 4 and question 5. So it's a president's role to identify the convener, to identify the coordinators, to identify the other members, and it is his responsibility to ask everybody to come for meeting, conduct the quarterly activities, conduct the planning, and also bring the external support system, everything. And they have to build the capacity of the team to drive the system, to drive the council. Next, another one of the frequently asked question is that use of logo. Can an IIC institute will use the MIC and AICT logo? The answer is no. An IIC institute is not permitted to use the AICT and MIC logo. So far, that event or that program is not financially supported by the MIC or AICT. They have to obtain prior approval for use of MIC and AICT logo, but definitely they can use the IIC logo because they are part of IIC network system. and use of IIC logo is the decision of the president of that IIC institute. Then another question is that, can IIC institute use IIC logo for any kind of activity? Answer is no. IIC logo should be used only for innovation, entrepreneurship, and IPR related activities conducted by that IIC institute only. You can't use IIC logo for XYZ activities. That it's the responsibility of IIC president to take and the decision to use the IIC logo for this kind of activities only. A question is kind Q1 and Q2, quarter 1 and Q2. Is it merged or what? The answer is Q1 and Q2 for IIC 4.0 is already merged, and it has been informed very long back. But still many institutions are asking these common questions. So just take note that Q1 and Q2 has been merged, and the Q2 ends in February 2022, and you have to submit all the reports by end of February 2022. Then only you will start evaluating and assign the institutions with score and star for Q1, Q2 by March or April. Then again, you have to submit for Q3 and Q4, and finally the annual performance result will be announced in the month of August or September. So another frequently asked question is, does IIC and MIC provide financial support for IIC establishment? No. For establishment of IIC, there is no fees required. It is completely free. Also, we never give money to the institutions also. But MIC and AICT, they conduct so many programs for our IIC institutions, for our faculty members. There we invite all these IIC members to participate, and also we provide them handhold supports, and also we float certain programs like impact lecture program, mentor mentee program. There we, and national innovation contest, there we provide supports to the there we provide financial support to the institutions, but not for the IIC institute, not for the establishment of IIC, but for executing that program. Like in impact lecture, we provide financial assistance, a small amount like a remuneration to the external experts, especially those institutions that belongs to the village, hilly areas, and northeast regions, and Jammu and Kashmir regions, to conduct innovation and entrepreneurship activities. Similarly, we provide 2,25,000 each to the mentor institutions to provide mentoring supports to IIC institutions. Are those are just new to this IIC framework or the network. Also, we heard a common question from our institutions: when this NIC National Innovation Contest 2022 is going to be announced? Because of this COVID system, actually we didn't able to carry out this NIC 2021. Just we completed this funding supports to 75 innovative technologies. So in next 1 to 2 months, we are going to start the new editions of NIC, but in a different mode. So the modality has been changed, and the modality is like this. In next 2 months, institutes will be asked to create a repository of ideas, innovations, and the startups. So they have to scout, they have to ask the students, and they have to develop a complete repository, and also they have to evaluate all these ideas and innovations and startups. Then from that pool, we will ask the institutions to nominate certain number of best innovation applications to take part in this national level competitions. The plus point, the advantage of this system is that the repository belongs to the institute, but it is part of the IIC system, and institute can use this repository for other purposes, like to nominate for other competitions organized by different organizations. So these are the common questions, and the final common questions is, what are the new in this IIC 4.0 portal? Let's discuss this in our next slide. The new things introduced in this IIC 4.0 is weightages and the scoring system of the activities. In comparison to the IIC 3.0, IIC 4.0 has the 4 different kind of activities. The IIC calendar driven activities, almost you all know it. It carries 50% weightages. The self-driven activities, it carries 30% weightages. And self-driven activities are those activities institute organize these innovation and entrepreneurship activities without guidance or without any support from Ministry of Education or the IIC. And 10% weightages is for the MIC driven activity. MIC driven activities are those activities MIC, IIC and AICT, they ask our IIC institutions to carry out that activities, and mostly it is non-planned activities at the day of calendar, in the beginning of the calendar. So it comes as we progress on our calendar. Like recently we announced we conducted this program called Atmanirbhar, celebrating the Innovation Week as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So that was not part of IIC calendar activity, but it is a MIC driven activity. And the orientation session you all are part of, it is also an MIC driven activity. Why? What is the necessity of this kind of MIC driven activities to be included and also provided the support weightages to this? Because MIC driven activities are very important activities. It carries, or actually on participation of all in these activities, actually it has a very potential to provide you more information and the knowledge, but it was not planned in before. That's why through these MIC driven activities, we're trying to pass these informations to our institutions and our faculties and the students. And for in this addition to IIC 4.0, a celebration day activity is included, which carries 10% weightages. We observed that there are so many days are there in important days are there in our calendar, which should be celebrated, which should be encouraged, and institutes should come forward to organize these activities, organize these days in their campuses. We have identified certain days like India Startup Day, next your National Innovation Day, National Education Day, National Startup Day, kind of things. Every institute has to organize at least 2 to 3 such celebration day during any particular quarter. For more detail, you can visit our these 2 links, that for the calendar activities and for the scoring, for the weightages, and also detailed guideline for the IIC. You can visit our IIC webpage. The new feature of IIC 4.0 is, in this year, we decided to classify our institutions. Earlier, there were no much classification. Every IICs were considered as a one. Like one IIC means it is irrespective of size and nature of the institution, we had just treated it as one IIC. But this year, we are going to introduce and we classify the IIC institutions on 2 different levels. The first level of classification is universities, especially deemed universities, both government and private, will be treated as a one. The universities, those are affiliating bodies. because they have many such institutions as part of their system. So they will be put into another category. Then colleges and institutions, those are affiliated to these universities, they will be considered as a separate, and standalone institutions will be considered as a separate. Another level of classification is technical institutions and non-technical institutions should be classified and represented separately. And already this has been included as part of IIC 4.0 registration. So while confirming the registration and participation for IIC 4.0, if you have answered this question, that does your university gives affiliation to the colleges and institute, if you will answer yes, then automatically your institute will be transferred and fall into this category of university and affiliating. There are other new features are part of this IIC 4.0 portal, are like, now IIC Institute through their portal, they can track, they can check the progress of innovations received funding assistance from MIC and AICT. The new feature is integration of Innovation Ambassador portal with IIC Institute portal. So those are the innovation ambassadors. They have given access to the Innovation Ambassador portal. Now what they are doing, what kind of activities actually they are doing or they have done, all kind of report system. Now IIC Institute, their IIC Institute can see it. The new feature in the IIC 4.0 portal is Institute can check their eligibility and they can participate through this portal in various schemes and the programs meant for IIC institutions. The new feature is IIC institutions now they have to extend their support system and they have to link with Atal Tinkering Labs already established in more than 8,000 schools across the country. So that means IIC institutions or the council has to think about how they will take 2 or 3 good ATLs present in their locality and the district, and they will develop a bridge between the school and the college system. And they have to guide these Atal Tinkering Labs and the schools to carry out various innovation projects and involve them in various innovation and business plan competitions and the training programs they conduct on regular basis. The mentor and mentee program we started a couple of months back. Now institutions have received the fund already. The 50 institutions, those are part of the first phase. Already grant has been sent, disbursed, and they are in the process of conducting these prescribed activities. And another 150 institutions as part of second phase, those have opted for voluntarily providing the mentoring support. That exercise is still going on. So by in the next 1 month time, they will also start their mentor-mentee activities. So both mentor institutions and the mentee institutions, they have to discuss, they have to plan, and they have to carry out these prescribed activities. And these activities has to be reported, monitored, and tracked by using this IIC portal system. So this system also, this mechanism also has been integrated in the IIC 4.0. Also, we have introduced a e-learning repository build up and resource utilization. What it does mean? See, we all witnessed that in the last 1.5 years during this COVID period, every institute has developed their capacity to organize e-sessions and expert talks by inviting the experts and resources. So all these recording sessions are with every institute. So why not to develop a repository and asking all these institutions to submit their links and everything of these e-sessions they conducted in the last 2.5 years, so that a repository will create, and that repository will be made available free access to all the institutions of part of IIC network. So those institutes want to use these learning materials for conducting the online activities, they can make use of it. And also you can learn what kind of sessions, expert sessions were conducted by various institutions, and if you found also, you can go through that, also you can acquire knowledge. So this is this e-repository has two subcategories. One is all these such kind of e-learning resources available with the IIC institutions will be segregated, will be consolidated, and will be created that repository. And the second is called Ministry of Education Innovation Cell and AICT. We are also conduct so many such activities, e-learning, expert talks, and the sessions. We will make it available in there also. So all our IIC institutions will get access to the materials that is with all the IIC institutions, and also the materials or e-learning materials with the MIC, and they can make use of it for conducting the various sessions, and also they can use as a teaching material while conducting the classes also. Another repository we want to create, that is already been included in the IIC calendar activity, that every institute they have to create the repository of ideas, repository of innovations, and repository of the startups. So whatever the things innovation they have developed since so far, they have to be included here. And this repository belongs to your institute, and it will be available in this IIC portal only. Whenever at center we need, we will ask the institute, and you have to just click it and you have to nominate it. Also, institute can use this repository for nominating for other various programs, or they can use this as a record, and they can develop their own funding support system if they want to do it. In addition to all these features, this IIC 4.0 is going to help and create the IIC sub-network system. Especially, those are affiliating universities. Those are universities are engaged in affiliation activities. Now we are going to provide them a sub-network system of IICs. They will be able to know who are these institutions, affiliated institutions have already established IIC, and how other affiliated institutions, those are not part of IIC, they will join and they will establish IIC, and also university will be able to manage, admin, and also see the progress report of all these IIC institutions. Those are part of their affiliation support system. This system is also created. I'm going to talk about it very briefly, but these are the created. And the last feature, last one but not the least, the new feature is for this IIC 4.0. Now every institute, irrespective of your mentor institute or mentee institute or affiliated institute or affiliating body, whatever may be, every institute has the chance to identify the institutions those are not part of the IIC system, and those are located nearby around their institute. And it may be technical, it may be non-technical, whatever may be. They can encourage and refer these institutions to join the IIC. And we have developed a system, if you will able to get 3 to 5 such institutions to join this IIC network, once they will complete the IIC registration, then that particular institute will obtain certain points which will be counted towards the 5th star calculation. So this is all about different features and the correct you can say that different mechanisms we have designed and part of this IIC 4.0. Let me go through the very briefly one by one. So this is all about the Innovation Ambassador program. So you know that Innovation Ambassador have a different different logins, but now onwards, in next 1 week time or so, IIC institutions will be able to see what kind of activities they have conducted in the last 6 months or since they log in. And is that login is active or not active? What kind of reports they have developed? Everything IIC Institute can track, and also this will be considered as a part of the IIC annual performance system. If an innovation ambassador left the institute, if that wherever they have gone, if that institute is institutional innovation council, then still that faculty can retain that innovation ambassador tag, and they have to write a request to the IIC Institute that allowing them to shift that innovation ambassador login to the other institute. So that system is also inbuilt. Innovation ambassador and institute can use this system if they are shifting any college, one institute to the another institute, but both should have the IIC in their campuses. And through this mechanism, institute can nominate innovation ambassadors, and very soon we are going to make it open so that institute can nominate anytime, and that nominated faculty can complete all the training materials, training modules of as provisioned under the innovation ambassador training, and they can complete, and upon completion they will be able to get the certificate, and also they will get access to the innovation ambassador portal to carry out the activities prescribed for innovation ambassadors. So all these systems will integrated and will go simultaneously. Now comes to the next feature of checking the eligibility and participate in various schemes and programs. As I said, the innovations, or if you are going to nominate any innovations or startup or POC for national innovation contest, your IIC Institute is going will able to see the progress of all these applications carried at the central level, and also if any innovation team will receive any financial assistance, that's also your institute can able to track that progress of that innovation and the startup. This is it is already developed. Next is managing the pre-incubation and the incubation support. So if your institute has pre-incubation facility and incubation facility or any something like that, you can provide the updated information in every 2 months time or in every quarter, so that this information will be available in the in our IIC web page, and other institutions and students will access to this information. They will approach to your incubation unit and the pre-incubation unit for various support, like conducting the programs or providing financial support, something like that. They can approach to your incubation unit. Similarly, there are many programs we are offering, like mentor-mentee program, impact lecture program, innovation ambassador trainee program. You can manage, you can participate by using these links. For mentor and mentee, already we have developed the prescribed activities. The link has been given, and training already been provided to the 50 institutions. Those are part of the first phase funding support. And through this link, through this mentor and mentee tab, they can check, they can see which are the mentee institutions assigned to them, and what kind of activities they have to organize, how they will plan these activities, and all the report system, everything will be managed through this mentor-mentee tab. And there will be no different portal system for mentor-mentee program. And all these progress also will be counted for towards the IIC annual performance evaluation and analysis of that institute. For the Atal Tinkering School also, already we have integrated the database of the whole 6,000 Atal Tinkering schools. Now, this will be given as an MIC driven activity to our institutions for next 1 month time. They have to first see the list of Atal Tinkering labs exist in their district, and they have to approach them. They have to call, they have to coordinate with them, and they have to explain them how they are going to help them, and how IIC institutions will help guide them in making that Atal Tinkering Lab kind of a epicenter of innovation and entrepreneurship for school kids. And they have to onboard these auto tinkering labs for conducting the activities. So this is kind of a similar kind of mentor and mentee activities, you can say. It is similar kind of mentor and mentee activities. So you are going to mentor up to 5 auto tinkering labs. Or when I say you, means it is not the president. You means that IIC council together have to identify the best talents of the institute, like student innovator or some faculty innovator on specific areas, and they have to help the students of the school and auto tinkering lab to carry out the innovation activities or the innovation projects developed at the auto tinkering labs. And also you have to give them training, you also have to orient them, and you also align with the national innovation startup objective, how these school kids will build and their capacity, their attitude and their aspiration, so that when they will reach to the college level, they will be not treated as a fresh for in the area of innovation and entrepreneurship. And once the auto tinkering labs will accept your invitation, and all these invitation, everything should be managed through this portal only. Once you will select and we will send the invitation, and upon accepting that invitation, the confirmation will be reflect here in the, and after that you have to start the activities, and you have to give them access to the resources, and also you have to conduct certain field visit activities, and school student will come to your institute, also from your institute also certain faculty student, they will visit the institute school. So this kind of exchange and interaction and knowledge transfer things has to be happen. For the e-learning repository, already I mentioned e-learning repository, there will be a repository of e-learnings where IIC institutions and MIC conducted expert session has to be put together, and this consolidated and huge repository of such e-learning materials resources has to be utilized by the IIC institutions for conducting the training sessions, lecture sessions, and also they will use as teaching material in their classroom sessions. Similarly, the repository of ideas innovation startup also will be is already developed, and you have to make use of this mechanism, and you have to next 2 months of time. This is also again going to be a MIC driven activity. All these two things is going to be MIC driven activity, and once you will complete, then these weightages allocated towards this MIC driven activity will be counted. Then already I have explained about the IIC sub networks, especially for the universities. Those are affiliating, those are providing affiliation support. So these university affiliating bodies, they will first they have to, once they will how to make use of this system. So first they have to search and add the affiliated institutions already having IIC. So from the pre-populated list, they have to identify, first step, they have to identify that which are the institutions, those are affiliating, those are affiliated with their university and already have the IIC in their campuses. So you will able to know from here, from our portal itself. So if your institute, if your university belongs to Andhra Pradesh, then Andhra University, per se Andhra University, then Andhra University is affiliating university. So Andhra University able to see that which are the institutes and the colleges comes from Andhra Pradesh, and they will able to see the list of all these institutions, and they have to identify which are the institutions those are affiliate to the Andhra University, so that they have to first migrate these things under this tab. And the second is called, they have to send, they have to refer, and they have to add these institutions. That means they have to provide the details of that institutions. Those are not part of IIC, but those are the affiliating institutions or affiliated institutions. So they have to provide, once they will provide the detail and they have to click, then the invitation link will goes to that particular institute, and that once that particular institute will register for IIC, and that institute will also come into the bucket of list of affiliated institute with IIC. Then once it is done, then that particular university, they can manage, they can track the progress of all these IIC institutions, their activities, their reports, and their performance. They can also give certain activities to these IIC institutions, and for that also you can create your you can reward them, you can provide them the incentives, you can announce new programs for them, and all these things will be displayed in the form of the dashboard. So these are the newness we have included, and we believe through this majority of our university of affiliating nature and affiliated institutions will get good mileage and also advantage from this program. The fourth one is called referring the new institute and earn the credit that will be counted for 5th star calculation. So this is applicable for each and every IISA institute, irrespective that you are either part of a university or you are a standalone or you are technical or non-technical. So if you know any institute or any university, those are located in and around your vicinity, but they are not part of IIC, definitely you can send them an invitation by using the system. And once they will join, then automatically the credit will transfer to your account, and because we have everything in place, so that we will know that this university joined through you. It may be happen that there are 3 IIC institutions, they will refer the same institute. In that case, if that institute, the credit will goes to that IIC institute through, if that institute has linked, that institute has clicked or accepted the invitation sent by that IIC institute. So in simpler way, if there are 3 IIC institutions are there and we have referred the same university, but the credit will only comes to me if that university will click or accept the invitation by using my link or the link sent by me. Okay, so that way also it will help in creating a kind of a competitive and competitive spirit and competition among the institutions, and all these efforts will be counted towards 5th star calculation. So this is all about the new features, and in next 1 week we are going to have series of question and answer sessions, and if you have any kind of questions or kind of your queries, definitely you can ask, but it is through the WebEx link. So respective zonal in charges, they are going to share with you all the WebEx link, and please restrict to your zone only. Don't join other zones sessions, and don't make it overcrowd. And all IIC presidents, conveners, and coordinators, members, they can join this. Please request your IIC president to get that link, because we are going to send this link to the only IIC president and convener only. So please get the link, and you are invited to join this link. So this is the schedule of question and answer sessions, and it is going to start from tomorrow onwards. So please make use of this. And this question and answer session is not going to be streamed in the YouTube channel, and this is only a kind of a WebEx one-to-one talk only. And these are our IIC zonal in charges. Ms. Selva Rani is looking after southern part, SRO. Mr. Ankush Sharma is looking after NRO and NWRO. And Mr. Abhishek Ranjan, he is looking after SWRO, Karnataka and Kerala. Also, he is looking after CRO, Central Zone, MP and Gujarat. Mr. Pranav, he is looking after WRO, Maharashtra and Goa. Udyan Maurya, he is looking after ERO, Odisha, West Bengal, Northeast, all these states. And also he is looking after SCRO, South Central, that is Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. And they are going to conduct their question and answer session separately. And if you are part of any WhatsApp group, IIC 3.0 WhatsApp group, now these groups are not going to be functional from tomorrow onwards. So either you exit or also we will make it dysfunctional, and only IIC 4.0 WhatsApp group is going to be functional from today onwards. So please make sure that you join that WhatsApp group of IIC 4.0. If you are a president, you have to join the IIC 4.0 president group of that particular zone. If you are a convener, then you have to join the IIC 4.0 convener group of that particular zone. Don't join here and there. Also, only restrict to the group for which it has been created. And if you are part of any IIC 3.0, please exit from that group. If still not joined the IIC 4.0, please write to your IIC zonal in charge. So these are the numbers, these are the emails for that particular zone. So please write to them, or if you have the number, then just you call them, and please stay in touch and connected with our IIC zonal in charges for any queries. And we are here trying to provide the best support system and also clarifying your queries. So we never restrict ourselves through any particular kind of office hour. We always ready to provide you support throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year, and also during the holidays also. We always provide, but sincere request, if possible, please restrict to, or please have a kind of a, don't call in the midnight, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Actually, people are calling in the night, 11 and 12 also. They are asking, sir, help. It's a good sign that you are quite enthusiastic, but also you have to understand that we are getting huge number of calls every day, and also we have to deal with so many emails and the queries. So we have our limitations also. So please understand that, and write to us over email and WhatsApp group. We will definitely will answer, and we will help you whatever we can. And our technical team is also working around the clock to make sure that you all have all your queries get resolved on time. And Selvarani is our IT lead, and Rangnath Ojha, he is our Rangnath Ojha, and Mr. Sujit Kumar, our IT team. Actually, they are working day and night, and to make this IIC portal system more robust and integrated and also seamless. And whenever the technical glitch comes, they always there to help you out. So team is not so big, but we all are trying and doing best as per our ability, and helping this IIC system to grow and sustain and perform and achieve the bigger goal what we set for our country, to make this country is one of the vibrant and dynamic ecosystem in the world, and making our country positioned at the top 25 in the global innovation index. So with this, I will again thank you all for watching and for part of this IIC 4.0 orientation session. And the certificates for IIC 3.0 annual performance and certificates for ARIA 2021 already been released, and you can check your respective ARIA and IIC portal to get the certificates, and keep doing and inspiring others, and through this collective approach only we will be able to conquer and achieve the goal. So with this, I will thank you again for your time and efforts, and let's participate in the question and answer session in a huge number, and let's understand what the problem at your level. Also, let's understand what we can offer, what we can do best for you, and through this, let's come up with a replicable and scalable solution amicably. So thank you all.